Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. We have a few info conversations here, but none of these are really that important. You could probably just even skip all these because they don't give you that much information. A lot of the stuff you can figure out for yourself, and since none of the characters that I'm planning on using for the rest of the game have conversations, so I'm only going to show the first two. This one is actually very short, but the second one is actually a lot longer than I thought it was. But I'm just going to cover these two conversations, and then I'll go ahead and get ready to start the chapter. As you can see, this is only a 7-minute video, but the second video for today will be the entire 11-minute period, so I think that'll make up for this rather short video. So once again, this chapter ended up being 5 videos, so it's going to be 2 today and 3 tomorrow. Once again, I'd like to apologize for not uploading this yesterday, because I was supposed to upload this yesterday. But then I decided that since it was a busy weekend with it being Easter and all, and I also had to watch my parents' house for on Friday, and then I had a lot of stuff going on Saturday as well, I just did not have the time to film this. So I filmed it last night, and I should have all the videos ready now. I'll try to be careful next time. I'll try to get this done first thing and the earliest I can to avoid all instances like this in the future. But anyways, Sigrun is going to be talking to us about the desert terrain, because this next level will be taking place in a desert area. Now, if you played a Fire Emblem game before, you've probably encountered the desert terrain, because it seems like in every game they try to add the desert terrain in at least one chapter. And basically what the desert terrain does is it slows you down majorly. Units on horseback and armored units have a very difficult time moving through the sands. And then also it's just some units in general will have a smaller movement range than they normally would have. However, you can kind of avoid this using flying units, magical units, or magic units, not magical I guess, but whatever, and thieves, because they can actually move through the sands pretty quickly. And then some units, like upgraded class units, like Boyd at this time, can also move through quite a few spaces as well. But just keep in mind that when you're going through the sands, you will be left behind more often than you would normally on normal terrain. So just keep that in mind and use your movement limits to the best of your ability. I think in this video I use a lot of units that have high movement range, so they don't really have that much of a problem. But we're going to go ahead and leave the base. Also, something else about sand. There are a lot of items you can find hidden in the sand, and I'm also going to be taking some units around the area. I had a game FAQs page open at this time, so I know where all the treasures are. So I'm also going to try to get as much buried treasure as I can. In order to find buried treasure, you need units with very high luck, and usually magic users and thieves can find stuff very easily. So I'm definitely taking Volk in this chapter. But anyways, the storyline for this chapter is there is this little bandit outpost here, and Sanaki, the apostle, wants us to check it out and defeat this local tribe of bandits. Or so she thinks they're bandits, or so we think they're bandits. These guys might have a little more relevance to the storyline than just being bandits, but we'll see what happens. And it looks like we're facing a giant tribe of Laguz units. Oh goody, Laguz units. Thankfully though, this chapter really isn't that hard. For the most part, the units will just rush at you, and then a lot of the times the units will just stay out of your way unless you get into their range. So you can just like move slowly and take out units one by one. And then if a unit does happen to rush you, just keep a bunch of units in groups, and then you can just assault the unit when it comes close. I am not going to take Kieran, Boyd, Gautry, I think just those 3. Oh wait, I'm not going to take Oscar. I'm going to take Boyd, but I'm not going to take Oscar, because Oscar is going to have a very difficult time moving through the sand. and I'd rather not have that right now. I just did that so I could bring them up to the top of the list. But now I'm going to go through all my units, show you what their stats are like. Since some of them are advanced one more level because I gave them bonus experience. So I just thought I'd take a few seconds or a minute or so just to show you what all my units look like and what weapons they have. Notice how Neffany, Rolf, and Jill are unable to carry some of the equipment that they have, or they're unable to use some of the equipment. I'm actually going to focus on raising them probably the most in this chapter, so they can advance a few more levels, and their weapon levels as well, so they can actually use those weapons. Because a lot of the weapons that I want to use in this chapter are Lagu's weapons, and unfortunately Rolf and Jill and Neffany can't use those weapons. And yes, I'm even showing these guys as well, just so you can have an idea of what level they're at and what items they have too, since I think I did a little adjusting with them as well. And I really can't explain how I decided to do this formation. I kind of just moved around units to what I wanted to move them around as. I don't know, I really wasn't thinking very much when I was doing this repositioning. Also, I'm bringing Leith for a reason I'll explain later in a future video in this chapter. Let's see, I think this is pretty good though, so let's go ahead and go back and save, and I'm going to end the video here. Join me in a few minutes for the next part of Fire Emblem Let's Play. Later, guys.